This is the June 30th meeting of the Revere City Council. Please rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of the members. Councilor Rigo?
Here.
Here. Councilor Gino?
Here.
Here. Councilor Guanasso?
Here.
Here. Councilor Haas? Here. Councilor Morabito? Here. Councilor Novoselsky?
Here.
Here. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta?
Here.
Here. Councilor Powers?
Here.
Here. Councilor Reardon?
Here.
Here. And Council President Zambudo?
Here.
Here. Quorum is present.
We all know that we're here for, this is just a special meeting to vote on these bond orders. So this is going to be probably the quickest City Council meeting in the history of the Revere City Council. Madam Clerk.
Calendar item number 1, communication from the mayor relative to the authorization of state revolving fund loans, CWSRF numbers 3908, 3909, and 3910.
I think at this point we'll have the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee give a quick report, and then we'll go forward.
Mr. President, unfortunately we're here today because tomorrow's July 1st. We're being told that we could be subject to not being in compliance, which I really don't like, having a gun put to my head, but that's basically what happened to this council. With that being said, the council, the Ways and Means unanimously, and your vote also, took a vote to appropriate this money to go out to bond it, but not to spend one red cent of it unless they come back in front of this council, explain to us what it's for and how much is needed. So we'll work that money out. So with that being said, I'd appreciate if you take that vote as amended.
I will, and I want to thank you for your hard work on this and for not letting them pull the trigger on that gun that was at your head.
No, they pulled it.
Okay.
Mr. Director of Finance.
The only concern I have with that motion is you mentioned that the city could not spend 1 red cent until we came back to the city council and got another vote. That kind of contingency is not allowed on bond issues. When you give a bond authorization, you give the bond authorization to have the city expend the money on a certain purpose. However, when you start putting conditions on it, that's where the problem arises. You can put certain conditions on it, but then to have to take a revote in order to, you really haven't voted the authorization.
Point of information, Mr. President.
State your point, Council Penta.
These loan orders, $15 million is not subject. You're not going to bond $15 million and itemize everything you're spending it on. So how can you stand there and tell me, and I asked Councilor Leone if this is possible, and he told me yes. He's an attorney that handles the things with the DEP and everything else. But what I'm saying is, how can you say that when this is not itemized what we're spending on?
Well,
how can you go bond it anyway?
It's the same thing when you bond to school. It's not itemized when you bond to school. You bond to the school for much more money than this. And I'm not looking for contention here. I'm just giving you as a practical warning. My feeling is that in the past, the city council has done it. We had to negate some of the loan orders that was done on. The bond council would not give us a clear approval of it, and that's what has to happen. Before we bond any type of monies and funds, the city bond council has to then give us an approval.
But we're going, Mr. President, through you to the speaker, we're going out to DEP
right.
to bond this money. This is money that they're telling us that we have to follow consent order along with their approval to do. So with that being said, I'm holding my vote. I don't know what any other council wants to do.
Hold on 1 second. Can we hold on a second? Let him finish and then
speak, please. Blue in the face.
No. Don't be disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful to you. Let me just say this: is that, and this is just what I've experienced in the past. You cannot have to take a revote. If you want information, nothing can be spent, and you want to put on there, nothing can be spent of this money unless we report to the city council, that's fine. But to take another vote after you've authorized it, that's going to put a condition on there. Bond council will 10-to-1 say that I'm not going to give you our approval of that. They have to clear every loan the city puts through. They have to give us an opinion, and they will not clear that opinion. And I think the attorney will agree with that, They will not clear that opinion. You have to take another vote, because what's the difference if you take a vote and you authorize the money and then it has to be reauthorized? So they can't clear that, just by the nature of it. They just can't clear that opinion. And that's all I'm saying. But if you would like to put the stipulation on there that nothing be spent until we itemize it for the city council, we'll be glad to do that and follow that, and that's not a problem. But to put the condition on the bond again, to put the authorization that it has to be revoted, it's not something that's going to, the bond council is just not going to give their opinion on that clearance.
Well, with that, Mr. President, it's not the same thing. But if you want to amend my amendment, we'll take 2 votes. That's clearly up to someone in the council.
Let me just say this.
So,
What I don't want to do here, and we're here tonight because we have to be in compliance with the consent decree. What I don't want to do is have some semantic language that doesn't allow this to go through. Now we've defeated the purpose of being here. So now, if I'm okay with an itemized thing, I'm hoping you will be. But
where's the items?
in other words, he's saying to you, instead of putting it out there that not 1 red cent can be spent before you come before the city council, he's saying that when they submit the itemized bill to the body that approves it, then they'll give us the itemized thing as to what's going to be done before they do any work. That's the same
Mr. President,
thing.
all due respect, we're giving our consent to go out and bond this. Okay?
Correct, but what you're
We're going to bond it. We've
what
bonded
you're
many
doing
things
is
before.
jeopardizing whether or not it will go through.
I disagree with you. We have
I
Mr.
know you
Leone, who I have
disagree
a lot
with
of
me.
credibility on. They can go fight this in the federal
I've
court.
seen it come back, Richard.
DEP.
I've seen it come
I'll
back.
give you an example. We hit bonded.
You're listening to a guy that's got 35 years
We hit
experience.
bonded 3 schools.
I got 20 years in the council.
And I'm not saying it's council, I'm not saying I have more experience than you, I'm not getting into that argument at all. Especially in municipal finance, I'm not getting into that argument. The part of what I am getting into is that we had a bond issue that was for a school that was so convoluted that we had to reissue new bond issues for that. And it would just recently happened maybe 5 or 6 years ago for the new schools. That's all I'm saying. I'm only giving a warning saying that, okay, if you're giving an authorization to borrow, okay, you're giving the city the right to borrow through the mayor, through the city treasurer, in order to fund these projects. If you then have to come back and take a revote, all I am saying is I am certain, because of the same convoluted motions that were made on that school, they're going to say, listen, we're not going to give our opinion on that. And if they don't give their opinion, we might as well not even bother taking this vote tonight, because it's not an authorization. We need a clean authorization. That's what we look for every time we authorize. And that's all I'm saying.
Judge, did you go to DEP for the bond, or did you go through the banks and the loan people?
We went through the banks.
Okay, thank you.
However, we did it through the MSBA. If you remember, they had to be part of it. And this is no different, because when a bond council looks at an authorization, they look at the authorization on whether or not it has clear, it's clear as far as the authorization to expend the money. If you have conditions on that money, there are certain conditions you can place, but if it has to take a revote, I'm certain with that the bond council is going to say no, because you're not giving us full authorization to borrow the money. You need full authorization for the bond markets, and the money they're using, because SRF just takes their money and they go to a bond market and they fund theirs. That's how they fund theirs. So they're going to be looking at the same thing. So it's going to bounce from us to them, and it's going to just bounce back at us. And that's the only warning I'm giving. But if you do want a list of what's going to be expended and how it's going to be expended, I'll be glad to do that. I'll be glad to make sure certain, not that I'll be doing, because I'm not in charge, I'll be glad to make certain that CDM gives you that information and gives you that information up front. And I'll give you whatever information. In fact, in setting up the summit, I want to make certain that you have all of the information we have and everything in front of you, because that's what we're looking to do, to make the council part of exactly what's going on here. But it's a matter of getting the clearance on in the opinion, a clean opinion from the bond council.
Thank you, Mr. Director. Councilor Reardon.
Mr. President, I would ask to make a substitute motion at this point to provide that the administration come before the City Council prior to making the expenditures, but not with the understanding that no vote of this council would prevent the expenditure, but prior to making that expenditure, come forward with an itemized and particularized invoice or proposed invoice from any contractor who is expected to be paid by this, and not for purposes of approval, but for purposes of information. I'd ask for a vote on that.
Okay, on the substitute motion by Council Reardon.
The language right. Shall the City Council approve CY-2014 CWSRF Planning Project number 3908 in the amount of $1.2 million be subject to the condition that all itemized expenditures for this loan be reported to the City Council prior to appropriation? Then just prior to expenditure.
Prior to expenditure, notwithstanding any vote by the City Council thereafter, so that it's understood that the City Council will not prevent the expenditure, but rather be informed.
On the roll call, Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Gino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas? Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta?
No.
No. Councilor Powers?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. Loan order number 3908 has been approved, subject to the condition set forth by Stephen Reardon.
Mr. President, before we leave,
We got two more to vote on.
orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same language on each one.
Shall the City Council approve CY-2014 CWSRF Planning Project number 3909 in the amount of $700,000, subject to the condition that all itemized expenditures for this loan be reported to the City Council for informational purposes? Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta?
No.
No. Councilor Powers?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon?
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. Loan order number 3909 has been approved. Shall the City Council approve CY-2014 CWSRF Construction Project number 3910 in the amount of $15 million, subject to the condition that all itemized expenditures for this loan be reported to the City Council for informational purposes? Councilor Rigo?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morbido?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky?
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta?
No.
No. Councilor Powers? Yes. Councilor Reardon? Yes. And Council President Zambudo?
Yes.
Yes. Loan order number 3910 has been approved.
Mr. President,
Council Novoselsky.
can I have suspension of rules for
On
reconsideration?
suspension of rules, all in favor, all opposed?
Hoping it not prevail.
So, suspension does not prevail. Council Powers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would just like to ask the Director of Finance, before any more of these last-minute loan orders are brought before this City Council, that there be a meeting prior to, so that this City Council knows exactly where this money is going to be spent.
We'd be glad to do that. That's not a problem. And I'll set that up in the future.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
have one question for the, I have one question.
Okay. We do
a
have
question.
one more piece of business we have
That's
to...
fine. Let's go one question on this.
Okay, go right ahead. Council Penta.
Judge, you mentioned that we will get the information that we need. For 3 months, I haven't got one iota of it, really. So you're going to guarantee that?
I will do my best to get it to you.
How would you get it and we can't get it?
Well, I will guarantee to make sure it works through the process so you get it.
I hope so.
If the City Council has any questions they have with the consent decree, what I would like, especially financial information, that it come through the mayor to me, CC, send it to the mayor, address it to the mayor, and CC myself, and I'll make sure that it works through the process. Okay?
Thank you.
And you get the information you want. The other thing, too, is resolutions that need to be passed on this.
We know that. That's what we're going to do next.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Clerk.
Shall the City Council approve the resolution for CY 2014 CWSRF Planning Project number 3908? Councilor Arrigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta is absent. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes. The resolution for number 3908 has been approved.
Is that it? No.
Shall the City Council approve the resolution for CY 2014 CWSRF Planning Project number 3909? Councilor Arrigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas. Yes. Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Penta is absent. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, resolution for number 3909 has been approved. And shall the City Council approve CY 2014 CWSRF Construction Project number 3910? Councilor Arrigo.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Janino.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Guanasso.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Haas. Yes. Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Novoselsky.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Patch is absent. Councilor Pent is absent. Councilor Powers.
Yes.
Yes. Councilor Reardon.
Yes.
Yes. And Council President Zambudo.
Yes.
Yes, the resolution for construction project number 3910 has been approved.
Motion to adjourn. We are adjourned until July 14th. Thank you all. Have a happy 4th of July.